Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be part 2 of what is going on with Kim Jong-un, China and America. The reason why I've filmed this second part is because when I finished the recording yesterday, I wasn't happy. Uh, the reason I wasn't happy is because I'm like, there's something more to this and I've missed it and I can feel it and I know there's something more to this. So let me just tap back into this energy here and obviously let's just do some... I'll be really honest with you. Sorry about that. If you can hear screaming, it's my brother playing on his computer upstairs, and he's like the least quiet human being on the earth right now. You're lucky he's not playing his ukulele and singing, if I'm totally honest with you. So, because I feel like he thinks this is like prison camp. He's gonna shoot me when he... Right. I'm going to be really honest with you. Is this accurate, Spirit? Because this is why I'm taking my time to answer this, because it's like I'll get the information through and I'm like, because it's blown my mind, I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be right. I feel like... I don't know if Kim Jong... Look, I think Kim Jong-un's dead, okay? Let me give you the clues first. So I saw Kim Jong-un on a cold hospital. I don't know, it was like a morgue. It looked like a morgue. And he was frozen and I couldn't work out why he was frozen, remember? I couldn't work out why he wasn't just buried, or there wasn't sort of something going on with that. And then I kept asking and there was confusion around him being alive or he's not, alive or he's not, alive or he's not. The reason why that happened... Okay, the reason why that happened is I believe, and this is going to... See, this is the thing, I don't even believe this myself, but I'm saying it, even though this is beyond my wildest comprehension. They're going to clone Kim Jong-un. They're putting a duplicate Kim... This is so insane. I can't believe I feel like the most random, insane human being saying this. They're not going to tell you he's dead. They're actually going to replace him with someone else. That is exactly the same carbon copy of Kim Jong-un, but it's not going to be him. And people are going to be like, there's something off about Kim Jong-un. Yeah, because it's not him. The reason why his body has been frozen is so they can get his body specifications and his facial features accurate. They want to make sure before he goes that this is exactly, it looks and it sounds like him, because they don't want to alert China. They don't want to alert, and I'm probably going to... They don't want to alert the world that this is what's going on, which is why there's only a certain amount of people that are aware of this, which is why it took me ages to confirm all the information yesterday, which is why the video cut out on my live, because obviously this is turning into like a freaking saga all on its own. Do I need cards to confirm this? I mean, I don't have any Kim Jong-un cards that are going to be like popping up going, yes, it's a clone, it's a clone. So we're limited with the confirmation, the visual confirmations here, but I mean, we can try, but it's like, the way they're giving it to me is that there is a double of Kim Jong-un. This is even insane, me saying this out loud. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you hear about and you think, really? Are you sure about that? And I'll be honest with you, to the point where I filmed the video, I put it up, and I watched it, and I was like, I don't like it. There's something not right about this. There's more information that I haven't given. I don't like it. And I'll be honest with you, I get annoyed. That really frustrates me, because when I upload it, it's usually late, and I think it was at like, maybe it was midnight in British time when that went out, so I spent like 2 hours thinking about what else I need to say, and this is what I needed to say, is that he's a clone. They're putting a body double of him, that to the point where it's like, you're not going to know it's a clone, and this is the most annoying thing, which is why the news is so sketchy coming out of Korea, because it's like, that's why they haven't officially announced the death, because they can't, because there's more to the story, which is why the reports were so hazy. Do you really think the kind of... I mean, you must have all had the inkling that when they were talking about he was brain dead and all this other stuff, like, you know, the reason they released that information is, again, it's like, it was really dependent on what his choices were. Because if Kim, don't forget, if Kim Jong-un hadn't have decided to take the sort of medicine, then he would have been alive. It was a setup. Like I said, it was a total setup for him to lose at every opportunity. It was lose-lose for him. Now, interestingly, Spirit's saying, God, this is a bit intense, but they're saying, let's just say he wasn't the most humane of human beings. When obviously someone passes away, do we sit and celebrate because they're dead? Of course not. That's not humane of ourselves, and we don't sink to that level. But was he the most humane human being? No. They're saying far from it. And it's interesting because I'm getting an energy through here. It's the most bizarre energy that I'm tapping into, because it's like I'm even tapping into his energy and he's like, I'm not dead. And I'm like, you are though. And he's like, no, I'm not. Let's tap into that, Spirit. What do you have to add for this, guides? Yeah, I think he's definitely not passed over yet. He's in the nomad. He's in a bit of limbo. He's refusing to acknowledge this, but he is. And I would say the reports are accurate about him passing on the Saturday the 18th, because they just said he passed Saturday, which would have been the 18th. Is there anything else we need to add to this now, Spirit? One sec. I'm going to pause this because they've given me information, but I need to validate it. One sec. For some reason, they've talked about the Boston Tea Party. Okay, now I'm not au fait with this level of history. I'm interested in history, but I can't sit and reel off dates and stuff about this. So I've obviously had to go into Google because I don't want to, Wikipedia. So this is on Wikipedia about the Boston Tea Party, so that I can kind of explain it, because there's definitely a link here, right? Now, it'll be interesting to see the astrological connection between the Boston Tea Party, which was 16th of December 1773, and the current situation. But it says it was a political and mercantile protest by the Sons of Liberty in Boston. The target was the Tea Act of May 10th, 1773, which allowed the British East Indian Company to sell tea from China in American colonies without paying taxes apart from those imposed by the Townshend Acts. American patriots strongly opposed the taxes in Townshend Act as a violation of their rights. Demonstrators, some disguised as Native Americans, destroyed an entire shipment of tea sent by the East Indian Company, beg your pardon. There's a parallel with these two things. They boarded the ships and threw the chests of tea into Boston Harbour. The British government responded harshly. So if I had to interpret what that means is they want China to believe that that is actually Kim Jong-un to continue the trade, because I think what's going to happen is their plan is they're going to take money from China and arrange shipments, and then when the shipments get to near China, they're going to sink it into the sea and then say that they were hijacked. And they're going to try and they're basically going to try and rip China off. They're going to basically try and rip China off. Now, I think they're going to try and cut off by gaining money all means possible. I think they're going to say that the reason why it was lost was because it wasn't in line with, the law that was passed in the previous video that I talked about. But it's sabotage. It says the Boston Tea Party was a significant event in the growth of the American Revolution. It says the crisis escalated in the American Revolutionary War began near Boston. They're trying to encourage a war in that area. They're trying to destabilise that area. That's what they're trying to do. And this is in line with coronavirus too. They're trying to destabilise the whole area because it's going to impact the Western world with the finances. If they do that, it will impact the Western world easier. Now, it's interesting because I did actually mention this in December when the British elections took place, and I actually did specifically comment on the fact that Turkey has built a super airport and that the trade from China to Turkey is going to increase in Europe, and what an idiot we are for having Brexit, because then that's going to totally change everything. Apparently this is also going to be the case because it's going to affect everything. it's going to affect the trade. It's going to affect the trade to Europe. They're trying to cut off China. They're trying to cut off China. They're trying to take the head of China. Now look, I'm going to be real with you here. You're probably sat there thinking, why would you even say this? Like, this is, you know, we gotta, you know, you got to look after your own. I'm sorry, I don't align with deep state people that are manipulating energies and entities and killing people for their own good. And so I align with truth, and so that's what I discuss. Sorry, sorry if that offends you, but I align with truth. I'm not going to sit and, you know, oh, I'm in alignment, I should stick to the Western. It's like, look, this is not, there's a bigger thing at stake here. This is about people's independence and freedom. Because if that is what is being allowed to go on behind people's backs, that's not, you know, that's not democratic, is it? That's not fairness. That's you know, this is the thing. It's like there's sabotage here, and I believe COVID-19 was developed on the basis of that as well. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with death. You know, I haven't consented to that, as far as I'm aware. So, but yeah, Boston Tea Party, there's definitely some sort of links with this, but I feel, I'm going to be real, I feel even Boston Tea Party back in 1773, there was definitely more to that historical event that probably wasn't reported as well. But they're probably going to see, you're going to see in the news, it's like, oh look, another shipment went, you know, from North Korea, and oh look, troubles mount between China and this person because they think that North Korea is, you know, messing them over. No, it's sabotage. It's sabotage. They're trying to manipulate war. They're trying to... It's the oldest trick in the book, divide and conquer. Oldest trick in the book. You know, both sides of my family are military. My dad's side is military, and my grandfather fought in the Second World War. So, you know, I know this energy, and it's being manipulated deliberately because they're trying to destabilise everything, and they're going to go in through the Middle East. This is still the same kind of efforts. We're 12 minutes in. Is there anything else, guides? They're saying not for the moment. Anything else? Yeah, it's all going to be, there's going to be reports of sea, things at sea, boats that are going to have been lost, or there's going to be, oh, you know, what's happened to this load, and it's defiant on the act that was signed, and, you know, they shouldn't have been doing it anyway, and stuff like that. There's more to it. They've been sabotaged. The trade that was going ahead is being stopped deliberately because it's very... They're trying to destabilise the region, but there's more to this as well. One sec. Sorry, this takes me long. I just don't want to jump into a channel without feeling it out and checking the information. Because I'm getting all the information through. I'm just double checking everything because I know this is quite complex. This is interesting. The reason this has happened is because this can't be right. There's something about development of nuclear weapons that there's a party that wants to do, but because they don't want to do it on their own soil, they're taking it over on that side of the world to do. That's their immediate plan. This is what all this plan's for. It's not just destabilising the region. It's not just for the money. It's not just to create conflict and start a war. They want to also prepare for that war, but by doing it over there, they're ready to go. They're trying to sabotage, and this is the deep state. They're trying to sabotage that part of the world because that's where the money is. Will they be allowed to do this? No. No. The plan is going to be foiled. There's something happening in August that is essentially not going to allow that alignment to take place. So you're probably going to see bits of this, but then around August time, there's going to be some kind of fallout from it all. But that's what their original plan is to go over there and create nuclear weapons and let them everyone think that it's Korea, but it's not Korea. It's actually them ready, preparing. But they don't need to prepare because it's not going to happen. This was only a potential. They've messed themselves up. They've basically, they've started a losing battle that they don't realise. And when I say they, I'm talking about the people that have masterminded this. And yes, Bill Gates is involved, yes. But it won't happen. It was a pipe dream that is being blocked. Sorry. And for the people that obviously, you know, did it, then you know, that's going to be your judgment now, isn't it? Because I don't know who you think you are, but you're not God. Yeah, so anything else? Yeah, that we're already coming into an alignment with a different energy that is away from this. So they are not going to get their wish. This is not going to happen. You're going to see bits and pieces of this that is going to make it look or seem like it might happen, but it's not going to happen. They've already talked about the fact that this is on a separate timeline. It can't happen now. There are too many moves to have to, like, you would have to be making moves the next 2 years solidly to get back onto this timeline, and by that point it's impossible. This is not going to happen. I'll give you a percentage. There's a 0.0003% chance. Hang on, a little bit more. There's a 4% chance that this would happen. 4 to 7%. So yeah, this is just for your insight. So when you're getting people reporting on this information and throwing red herrings and misinformation, so you know that it's not the case. And let's pull some oracles just to clarify this. Let's go with Queen of the Moon by Stacey DeMarco, just to get some clarification. Shout out Kate for the deck. Let's get some clarification on this. Okay, what can you tell us, please, Spirit? What is the outcome of the situation here? What is the outcome, Spirit? It's designed to stand the test of time. What they're talking about here is the new energy that is being brought in is designed to not allow that kind of energy back in. But that was what they were leading up to. That is what some brainiacs were trying to build. Yeah, look, people are not respecting boundaries. As you can see, boundaries in reverse. Boundaries upright is when, look, can you see? Cat's out the bag. I feel like this is going to come to light. I feel like people are going to start actually talking about this. Not just for a video either. Let's see, outcome, please, Spirit. What is the outcome? Yeah, look, we're divinely protected. This is not going to happen. Protection. It's done. Waning crescent. Look, this is a rebirth, and the timeline has been closed. There's no way this is going to... Yeah, look, purity. They can't... It's done. Finished. No moon. There's a purest element to this that is... It's not... It can't align with that energy. It can't align. Yeah, look. And not only that, but there's a new energy on Earth here that's driving a will here forward that is not in alignment with that low vibration. The low vibration that this was created from is no longer on this planet, which is why it can't survive, it can't sustain. Is it, put it this way, is it still on this planet? A little bit, of course, because we're still in this dualistic energy. But by the time when this is ready to, was due to or planned to implode, it can't. They're just saying it's too late. So unfortunately, or fortunately for us, that this is, not going to happen. And unfortunately for the Wallies who planned this, who think that they're God, unfortunately, you may have to get some mental help, because, that's not the kind of energy people. It's not the kind of energy people are, going to be dealing with here, especially not upstairs. They're not going to. You can't be trying to design to kill millions of people because it benefits you without it coming back to you. It doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. So, yeah, this is the outcome. Empowerment in the reverse. They're not going to get their way. They're not getting their way. This is just outcome. Final card, Spirit. What else can you tell me, please, about the situation? Outcome here, please. What else can you tell me? Yeah. And this is designed to expand, ascend the energies on the earth. This is not designed to implode or sort of, look, you can see the rainbow references. Now, if you've been following my channel for some time, I did comment on the rainbow happening around March, April, which is ascension, which is what, if you are following the Hopi tradition, it's the rainbow warriors that are on earth to ascend and help the planet ascend. So anyway, guys, this was the update, the part 2 to the original video. If you haven't watched the original video, obviously do have a look at that. And if you haven't watched the live on the same day, please also look at that, because how this all began, if you don't know, is we did the live before around the 1 hour mark. It cut off as I was about to channel this information, and then I filmed a separate video because they wanted a separate video for it. So then I filmed part 1 and then went to bed, and I was like, there's more to this. So now I've come back on the next day and I'm filming the part 2. Probably I'll go to bed tonight and they'll be like, can you go back on and do a part 3? And I'll be like, marvellous. Is it good news? Because if it's not good news, no. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening and watching. Thanks for all your likes, shares and subscriptions. I really enjoy doing these videos. I'm especially in enjoyment when it's good news. If it's not good news, I don't like it so much, but I'd rather report the truth and give the truth than skim over the information of what's going on. Yeah, take good care of yourselves, and until next time, bye.